Okay, we are at the Mount Van Hoevenberg Olympic Training Center and we are getting ready to ride the cliffside coaster behind me. So you get in that car and then you go up to the top of the mountain and then you go down as fast as you want. I'm a little nervous.
Oh, back in the back now.
Right there, you can see more of the cliffside coaster track and it looks like it's sideways. I'm in the car. Tamara's also in the car. Chris is in the car. Okay, we're going over the mountain.
If you look to the left, you will see the new cross-country and biathlon courses that were just built to accommodate the 2023 World University Games staged in Lake Placid, who enriched Lake Placid and New York State's Olympic legacy into a second 100-year span. This global event staged over 11 days with 13 different sports competing, involving 600 universities, 60 nations, and a total of 3,000 athletes, delegates, and officials.
Very nervous right now.
The event was previously staged in Lake Placid in 1972, and the summer version was staged in Buffalo, New York in 1993.
Okay, after we start this next ride, I'm securing my phone.
Hi
for
folks,
the ride
I'm
down.
Alana Myers-Taylor, pilot of the U.S. Women's Bobsled Team and 3-time Olympic medal winner. I want to review some of the riding instructions with you. Remember, you are in full control of the ride once you have passed the attended building at the top. You will be able to control your speed with the brake levers.
Okay,
Simply
I'm
push
putting it
the
away.
levers to
You said this is the only indoor push track?
Yes.
In the U.S.
In the U.S.
The bobsled with skeleton.
That is so cool. What are these? Speed radar?
Hold on, it's gonna get to it.
Oh, sorry.
If these were like ice skate runners, they'd be digging into the ice. These folks change direction by shifting their body weight. They'd be fighting that all.
All right. This is the view from the top of the bobsled track. Not too shabby.
That clock for 30 seconds. Driver's going to be in someplace in here. Because he asked that there's 300 people have to load behind.
Oh, wow. So gorgeous. Oh, I'm on the take-on. Okay. Look how the curve is. So high. Okay, here I am. This is the turn called Shady in the bobsled track. It says Lake Placid. And then behind me is that. Holy smokes. What a good vacation spot. All right. We are heading back to the farm this morning. I'm excited to be home, but we wanted to stop at this beautiful spot for one last look before we head to farm country. I'm going to turn you around. All right. This spot is right off the highway. It's called Chapel Pond. It's so gorgeous. What a beautiful spot. And there are peregrine falcons nesting here. There's a warning that they might dive bomb you. But not where we are. We stayed well away. Yeah, it's so beautiful. Good morning. What day is it today? The 28th of June. We got home from vacation yesterday. Vacation was great. I took a little bit of video while we were there. The weather wasn't great, but it was nice. It was nice not to wake up with the super dog like screaming in your ear, get up, get up, get up, it's time for chores. The lambs are looking so big that I can't tell them apart from the ewes. Like there's a big lamb. They're gonna choose to leave because the dog isn't here. This morning, Chris and I are gonna take down the next paddock fence and get these girls onto some new grass. I'm just checking the barn quick and letting the chickens out. We fed the last of the creep feed yesterday, so that is over. We can take that creep pen down at some point. We have the shearer coming tomorrow afternoon, so we'll have a look at the weather and see. The sheep need to be dry to be shored. So that is a concern. We do have some rain in the forecast. So everybody tolerated our absence pretty well. That was good. Here we go, birds. Okay. On vacation in the Adirondacks, we had less internet service than I expected. Cellular service is spotty up there, but I expected the hotel to have really good Wi-Fi, but they did not. I couldn't do much editing because most of my video was in the cloud, and obviously I couldn't do any uploading. What are you looking at? Oh, just the water.
Yeah, only the water, and I'm just thinking about how it's set up for
Oh, I gotta turn the fence off. There was some excitement the other day here where one of the lambs got his head stuck in a woven wire fence, which is not electrified. But he was yelling up a storm, so my stepdad had to save him. I think he felt really proud of his success there. Okay, I'm going to get the ranger. Watch out for the dog. He has a tendency to run in front of whatever vehicle I'm on, including the tractor. He doesn't like to be apart, but he doesn't like to ride either. Oh yeah, Chris has got him. So we got home yesterday afternoon. We were supposed to stay another day, but it was just like the weather was lousy and we're nervous about shearing and, you know, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so one thing that's going on here that's not ideal is that the lambs, okay, so you can see right there, that's the top twine, and then there should be another twine like 16 inches or so under it, and that's pulled slack. So the lambs are coming out through the twine. Yeah, so the lambs are not respectful of the twine. I don't know what we're gonna do. I'm gonna pull the machine through so I can shut this gate. I'm sure I said in a previous video that if the lambs wander out, it is what it is. If it's easy for them to wander out, it's easy for them to wander back. And I'm not super concerned because there's a big perimeter. I mean, there is a hazard. There's a pond right there. If they wandered that far, I suppose they could drown in the pond. Because the fence is down. The fence around the pond is down currently for mowing. I'm not super concerned about them wandering that far away from the flock that they're sheep. So yeah, so right now we're gonna pull a row of fencing. We're gonna pull 2 of those electronets, and then we're going to investigate and try and tighten up this twine. One thing about the twine in this situation is that they can't see it because the weeds are high. I'm thinking that next year, at the end of this grazing season, we will we'll wind the twine up. Okay, so here's a mess of lambs that are out, and Chris is gonna take the dog to bring them back here, which could be, I might need to back off, but these lambs haven't been worked with a dog yet. So we'll see how this goes. I'm sure they'll move. Every instinct in their little brains is that he's a giant wolf dog and they need to stay away. I am concerned though because they don't recognize this as a lane, you know, so, oh, there they come. There's little Edie in the front of the pack, stopping for a little snack. Good babies. Oops. And they're going into the wrong pasture. Yeah, I wasn't expecting anything less, but this is the fence line that we're gonna pull down, so it should be a-okay. Okay, so this is what this field is looking like, this acre that we opened them up to a week ago. It looks like they've eaten most of it. I could probably push them on this another day, but they were complaining and I feel guilty that it was gone. We did talk about other ways to fence these interior paddocks where we wouldn't be moving fences like this. It's getting hard for me to do it one-handed. But if we did it any of those ways, it makes it hard to mow, right? So doing it like this makes the mowing or the clipping easier. So this is the method that we're using. Okay, so I've gathered the fence, all the posts are at that end. This is just all the folded wire, and I'm gonna start rolling from here. The dog's coming to help.
Yeah.
So then I get the bottom, I think I've done this before, but then I get the bottom one that kind of is holding the whole bundle together. I tie a single knot around that. And then I loop it around, put the ends around, and then I tie it in a bow. These aren't super heavy, but the tighter that you can tie them, the easier they are to carry. I'd like to get some mowing done this weekend around the pond. There's fencing there that we left up last season, which was a bad choice. We need to wrestle that fencing out of the clutches of the pasture grass and just move it aside so we can mow and then reset it. So the way these work is you put your hand in here. There's a hole inside here for your thumb. And then you grab this little handle and turn it. Okay, so once I have it wound up pretty tight, there's a screw on the back of this that I'm gonna, it's a brake. So I'm gonna hang this on the fence. So there's a slot in this handle, and I'm gonna hang it on the fence. And then I'm gonna turn it until it's nice and tight, and then I'm gonna screw down that brake. Okay, I'm gonna walk down and check it. Okay, so here is the top wire that was always good, and here's the bottom wire that I just tightened up. Okay, so this top fence here is hooked to the hot wire at the top of the permanent fence using one of these jumpers, and then this other jumper goes from the top hot wire to the bottom hot wire, and that is how electricity moves between the fences. The twine that's on these reels is electrified when the fence is on. Again, all of this fencing is all positive, so it doesn't short itself out when it touches itself. So that's that story. I'm trying to soak in some of the views here and feel a little less crabby about today. Do you feel bad for destroying my work? Okay, so this is it. We left this net up at the end of last season, and look at it now. It's totally tangled in all these weeds. So we have no way of mowing them. So I need to take this down, and then I can get in here and mow you know, this section here. Okay, so behind this berm right here, there's a 1/4 acre pond. And then along here where you can see the cattails, that is where there's an overflow for the pond. I've said this before, this is a super wet area. So the pond overflows regularly and it comes down a ditch along here and it goes down alongside where these willow trees are. Well, that's a willow tree anyway, I think. I don't know, I'm not close enough. And then it joins up with the other drainage that we have on the property. I wasn't gonna record this because I didn't think the footage would be interesting, but it is so hard and I want you to see. So I think I said before, but I am not sure if I was filming or not, when the sheep are finished with that long skinny paddock where they are now, this is where they're coming. So I'm just pulling this down because the next thing we're working on is getting this field ready for them. Oh, Chris is much better at it than me. Okay, he does not need help. I'm gonna start on the other side. Well, the other side's been started. This is where we had to move the fence to get the telehandler in to tow the tractor out of the jam I got it in. So Chris's side was significantly harder. This is sheep net. Oh, I'm still out of breath though. There are just fewer horizontal and vertical wires in sheep net. What's over there is chicken net, which is the worst. It's the heaviest fence, it's the hardest to use. Clearly we were out of options when we set that. Okay, I'm out here pulling fences and I saw this flower, which looks like milkweed, but the leaves aren't right. So I looked it up and it's called swamp milkweed, which makes sense because we're kind of in a very wet area here. You can see that there's quite a lot of ferns. And this is, I'm pretty sure this is reed canary grass. If I'm wrong, let me know. So these are all species that love wet. This field actually has two kind of different zones, different soil type zones. The guys from Soil and Water told me over there, it's like the same as the field across the lane, but over here is totally different. Anyway, if you didn't know, now you know. Okay, here I am in the ditch. So you can see the cattails behind me, and then in this direction, Ari in the ditch. So yeah, I'm down here because I wanted to get a good sense of how wide this is and where I can mow up to when I mow. So like where I came in, I can probably do one pass. The beauty of this is that it was just dug out and it is nice and wide, and hopefully I'm less likely to get into trouble with the tractor. Look at this. Is this an aspen tree or a poplar? Ari, don't drink the ditch water. Okay, anyway, this is what it looks like in the ditch. So the idea is that everything on that side, no, everything on this side behind me should be mowed, and then hopefully we can set fence right up against it so we can graze as much as possible. This is all just going to be wild here on the berm, which is what holds the pond where it belongs. Okay, I'm gonna get out of the ditch now. All right, it's Friday night now. I just got back from my appointment in town, and Chris is mowing the lawn. and everything that entails. And I am gonna mow. I'm gonna mow around the pond. Got a new buff. It's a little tight, so it doesn't like cover. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's 6 o'clock at night. I do have a top on that's the same color as my tractor. It's like a look. This whole thing is a look. I got some nerdy fishing glasses. Or fishing glasses. We already talked about my nerdy glasses. We got some nerdy fishing gloves because my hands get hot if I wear work gloves. But if I don't wear gloves, they get burned. Here's an example of one of the weeds that we don't love around here. This purple flower is called knapweed. Nobody will eat knapweed. Sheep won't eat knapweed. Cows won't eat knapweed. Oh, I have a ton of wax in my mouth. Oh, I look dirty. Maybe we won't use this video. Okay, I'm gonna set you up here on the mower, and then I'm gonna bring the tractor in. Okay, I am now in, like, I'm gonna say I'm above the pond here. I was just trying to get like an idea of the lay of the land to see whether I could get the tractor through. The problem is that the way we set fences, I can't come in from that direction. We didn't put a gate there. We thought we'd add it later if we needed it. So I can't come in from behind the camera, and there's a ditch behind me, so I can't really come in from that way. So I think we're gonna have to leave this as is. This isn't perspective. This stuff behind me is almost as tall as me. So we might have to leave this as is until the late fall or the early spring, until everything's died back and we can see where the best place to get through is. And then we'll have to make some marks or something. So there's some old gnarly apple trees up here. So this is one. It's got a lot of apples on it. And then this tree is an apple tree, but it also has a grapevine growing on it. Those are grapes that you can see right now. Those big broad leaves are grape leaves, and the apple tree leaves are the smaller ones. There are a lot of apples on here. Let me see if you can. Oh no, they're backlit. I'm sorry. There's a ton of apples on this tree. Wow, they are loaded. Okay, so this is what the apple tree is looking like. It is unbelievable how many apples are on here. I mean, that is just unreal. Oh my goodness. And they're all down low. Like, I'm looking at the upper branches and I'm not seeing them, but these low branches are insane. The reason that it's important to mow up here for us is that we have to maintain our fence line. We need to be able to access the fence, and we need to keep the fence healthy. So that means like limit growth around it. So that is the important bit here. I'm not sure how we're gonna manage that up here. Oh God, oh my God. I've just wandered into like a pretty significant patch of wild rose. Okay, this is it right here. That's wild rose. Look at the thorns on that baby. God, I don't know why it's not focusing there. Those look deadly, right? Yeah, I have my summer weight overalls are not doing the job here. Here's something terrible. This is poison parsnip or wild parsnip. This is the leaf right there. It's a phytophotosensitizer, meaning that if you get the juice from crushing the leaves or stem on your skin, it makes your skin extremely sensitive to sunburn, such that like if I touched it right now, I could get a severe sunburn here at 7 p.m. on a clear day. I have had pretty significant burns from it. It is not something I'm interested in experiencing again. The scars on my legs were bad enough that I went to a doctor to get some laser treatments to try to minimize them, because it was pretty rough. Not that I'm winning any beauty contests here. Look what I found. It's a turtle skeleton. It's a Friday night in the barn. There's the bummer lamb. Hi, Mama. There's the ramlet right there. Tomorrow we have a big day here. The shearer is coming at 1. But we are forecasted for rain starting early tomorrow. So these guys are in for the night. We're just tossing some dry hay out. So they have something to do. I'm not worried about them being hungry. They just came off pasture. They all look like they've got big full rumens, but they are going to complain. We want to make sure they're, God, I'm looking good. We want to make sure that they have plenty to eat tonight, because it's better to be sheared on an empty stomach, so they're not going to get anything tomorrow morning. But don't worry, after their haircuts, they can go to the all-you-can-eat buffet. So that's what's going on in here. It's pretty late. I mean, I think it's like 9. We wanted to give them as much time as possible to graze, and they came in on their own, so we just came out to close them in. Okay, so we're going to toss out the rest of this hay. I'll see you in the morning.